There
No,
and
to
Aunt.
you, no,
To my
your
mom.
mother,
Oh.
so that she could have someone to come and help her, and that your father should add to that $100. And so much so that she couldn't complete the $100, and she told me, Josephine, here's what I have, you complete it and send a check.
And the person that she got to help out was my best friend's mother,
I don't know.
Helen.
I don't know.
Helen Howell.
But she was wonderful doing things like that. Great.
That's
And
what you're like. You're the same way.
And another one that
Totally.
another one that she did, she went to visit her friend. And she's, coming from a Spanish household the way she came, they ate very late. And she was used to eating late. She liked to go out late. And she went to see her friend, and her friend couldn't come out to see her, and she said, where is she? And they said, she's in bed. So mother said, well, I want to see her. She didn't care she was in bed or not in bed. She's going to go and see her. So she went to see her, and the friend said to her, I'm in bed because tomorrow I'm going to go to the hospital. They're going to amputate my leg. My mother said, they're going to do what? And she's amputate my leg. Mother said, no. Do not do anything. Do not do anything. Just wait, I'll get a doctor. And she went to go and get a doctor that night. And she went and she told him, and it was 11 o'clock at night, she's knocking on this doctor's door. And she's telling him, I want you to be there. This is the address. I want you to be there. I want you to see this woman. They're going to amputate her leg, or whatever song and dance she gave him. He went the next day. The leg was never amputated. Never.
Why?
Wow.
Why?
It healed
It
because of the doctor.
That's great. She was wild.
And the other one that I love the most, do you remember the time when we were in Jamaica on Inwood Street? All right, we were on Inwood Street, and across the way a woman came over and asked if she could use her stove because they turned off her gas. And mother said yes, and she let her use the stove to cook. But that night when Dad came home, mother, when she wanted Dad to do something, made sure that the dinner went off smoothly, and it went off smoothly. And after dinner she said, Albert, I want you to go across the street. I want to go and see someone. I want you to go across with me. And then she looks at me and she said, that meant, tag on. So we go over and she tells him, I want you to turn the gas on. And Dad said, I'm not turning the gas on. They turned it off. I'm not turning it on. And Mama said, turn it on. And he said, no, I'm not turning it on. And she said, Albert, put your hand there. My hand's here. This is my hand turning the gas. Turn it. Turn it. And he did, and we walked out, we came home. And all I remember hearing him say, Marie, do not do this again. That was all he said. Marie, do not do this again. But I thought it was wonderful.
Yes.
And the best one was, he said something to her, and she said something to him, and she said, Albert, when you learn how to carry the pants, I'll take mine off.
Woo!
You remember that one?
Do you have any opinion on that one,
I
Anna?
don't generally offer to do things. And certainly never had much quiet.
Oh gosh,
I'd go
that's
out for a walk and I'd say, wait a minute, Dad, I'll go with you.
so you were in the same camp, huh?
Because she was scolding all the time.
Well,
Wow.
Who was she scolding? You or Aunt
The
Joe?
boys didn't pay any attention to
Oh, the
her.
boys. Oh, yeah.
Sure. So
Wow.
I'd say, Albert, do this, or they'll do that, and they'd come and do it,
If you said it, they do it. But not if Grandma said it. Huh. I guess it's the way you said it.
It's the way you
Well,
said it.
Bill did more what she wanted. Yeah,
Well,
Bill did more what Mama wanted.
yeah, we could do it.
Well, Albert's.
Couldn't do
remember
something.
when Albert was so upset that he took all the pots and pans and threw them in the kitchen all over the place. He threw those pots.
Is this after the leg? Oh,
He
okay.
was suffering. He threw all these pots and pans all over the place. And I said to Mama, Mama, you've got to do something. You've got to tell him he can't do this. This is impossible. And she said, no, let him alone. Let him do it. And he did it. And I went, and next time I saw the doctor, I told him the incident. And he said, your mother's right. You should throw all the pots and pans. That's
Letting.
the best therapy.
Letting out all the anger or pain or frustration or
That was wonderful.
all of the above.
That was wonderful.
She was something else.
The time that Albert wouldn't use his leg. Well, I think that the greatest crime done by our parents was when Dad let Albert decide that his leg didn't have to be amputated.
Oh dear. That's.
He said, let him decide.
And how old
Don't
was
you
he?
think my mother was about to kill him? I was about to kill him.
Yeah.
I told him off that night. I remember I was so furious.
How old were you, Aunt Jo? Teenager?
For a long time.
Albert, I was 13.
Oh, wow.
Albert is 9. Albert's 9, I'm 13. We're 4 years difference. We're 3 years, 11 months difference.
So
And
he didn't want to have.
Mother, listen to the story. Mothers wrote to the newspaper because there was Dr. Lorenz. Remember, Mother wrote to Dr. Lorenz asking Dr. Lorenz to see her son. And Mother had a wonderful pen. She got things with her pen that others couldn't get. The answer was yes, come to my office. And Dr. Lorenz and his son examined him and said, this boy has to have his leg amputated. He must have his leg amputated.
Yeah, it's keeping this.
When we came home, Mama told Dad. And Dad said, what do you want, Albert? And Albert said, no. And I said, Dad, how can you say that? If you had been there, if you had heard the doctors, Dad wouldn't go. No, Dad didn't go. He didn't have any pants for that one.
So they didn't amputate
They
it
didn't amputate.
for a while, but they
Then
eventually
he had
did.
gangrene.
That's right.
Gangrene. He wasn't there. Who was there? My mother. Who was there? Josephine. Mother sent a little piece of paper, maybe not as big as this, with a taxi driver to school. And they took the paper, they took it to my classroom. I was in an English class. And the teacher said, this note is for you, and I read it. And I said, I'm going home. And the teacher said, you can't go home. And I said, oh, I'm going home. And the teacher said, I'm going with you. And the teacher got someone else to cover the classroom and
Wow.
went with me and took me home. And the note said, come home, keep the taxi. I kept the taxi and I told the teacher, you see that? There's a bus going back to school. You can take that bus back to school. She wanted to take the taxi. I said, you can't take the taxi. That taxi's mine. I climb upstairs and I find Albert, and Albert's in a raging. And I said, Albert, you have to go to the hospital. And he said, I can't get dressed. I said, you don't have to get dressed. And I took a blanket and put the blanket over him, and the two of us walked out. I guess I just turned 18 and he was 14.
Oh my goodness, so this is
Yeah,
5
yeah.
years after the
Oh,
doctor
that's
said
right.
to
Oh, yeah.
amputate? Wow.
And I get him into the cab. I say, let's go to postgraduate hospital. We go to postgraduate hospital. Mother doesn't say anything. Go to postgraduate hospital. I knew where to go. Went to postgraduate hospital. We walk in. Doctors looked, in emergency looked at him. He has nothing. He can go home. I said, no, he cannot go home. He is very sick. He is very sick. He's not going home. I went to social services, and I called social services and told social services, send for the doctor. This woman, my mother liked her. My mother sewed for her and sewed for her so that she would be good to Albert. She sewed for all of us. They were people to be good to us. For Eleanor, for me.
And they were, right?
School principals, school teachers, the doctors, the lawyers she saw. So in that, Dr. Storm came. As soon as he saw Albert, he said, who said to send him home? I said, that doctor!
Now you know where I get this from.
And
Yeah.
he took him. They operated that night. They amputated the leg. The next morning we were there. Albert swears my mother wasn't there. Swears to this day my mother wasn't there. We were both there. Mother sitting outside on a hard bench. I was with Albert. The door's there. The bed is here. I'm on this side, talking to him. Josephine, they say I don't have a leg, but I do. I feel it. And I said, no, Albert, they amputated. And where's Mama? And I said, Mama's outside. And it was terrible. It was terrible.
And it was above the knee at this point, right?
Well, because he was a healthy baby, and all of a sudden he lost so much weight and everything, you know. It was a drain on his system.
But was the amputation below the knee or above the knee?
It was right at the knee.
Oh my God.
But later on, they had to cut more and more and more.
So he had a lot of operations.
Oh yeah. He suffered a great deal. I don't say that. But he blames Mother for things that he has no right to blame her for.
Yeah.
So Mother one day said to me, me la va pagar, me la va pagar. He's going to pay for what he's torturing me with.
Oh,
He's going to
boy.
pay. And when his daughter fell from a swing and broke her arm, she said to me, I would like to tell him, and where were you that you didn't take care of your daughter that she fell off a swing and broke her arm? Because he blamed her.
She was
for it.
hurt.
She cried and cried.
But where
She
was
never told.
Where was Dad?
What?
Your dad. Dad. Where was
What?
Where was Grandpa?
Oh no, Dad did. Dad, when Albert was in the hospital, he needed blood transfusions, and Dad gave blood transfusions. That he did do. And Dad, but Mama used to say, you have to know, el es poquito. He can't do certain things. He just can't do certain things. El es poquito.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to take the words out of his mouth with a teaspoon.
Wow.
He didn't say much.
He was dry.
Dry. That's
But I will say, there was
kind.
once when she said to him, Albert, I need your help and this is what I want you to do. And he did it. That he did do.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, he was hurt inside.
It sounds like number one that you both remember it like it was yesterday. I mean,
Oh, I remember that one. Oh, you can't get that one out of my mind.
but that he was kind of coddled a little bit because of it.
Dad
No?
suffered a lot as a child. Dad suffered a lot as a child.
No, you mean Albert.
Dad,
Yeah, Albert.
Albert was coddled.
No, Dad, my
Oh, I'm sure
Dad,
he
my
suffered a lot.
stepfather.
Yeah.
Suffered a lot because his mother ran away when they were babies, and their father brought them up.
Right.
Wow.
And then he had a stepmother, and that stepmother didn't
Didn't cotton to that.
so his father didn't do the right thing. His father let him go and sleep in the shop at age 14, all by himself.
So
Wow.
he didn't know how to be a father
No,
either.
no.
And neither did my father, if you ask me.
No.
No, but Dad suffered a lot. But Dad said that Grandma used to dress them very nicely. And he didn't like to be dressed like that, like little Lord Fauntleroy. So he took his hat
They just
And-
did that back then.
and had a boy throw a ball through the hat. So the hat, he didn't have to use the hat anymore.
Is this Albert or my father?
Dad,
Oh, your
your
stepdad.
grandfather.
I have pictures of my father like
Oh,
little
yeah.
Lord Fauntleroy also.
Dad,
With the
Yeah,
collars.
with the frou-frou.
and Grandpa had these two boys, which he had, and later on he married, was his cousin, wasn't it? His first cousin? Or second cousin?
Yeah.
Second. He married his second cousin, and she came, and then they had 7 more children, so that there were 9.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a
And
minute.
she made money. I mean, between the two of them, they worked very hard, and they had nice money.
So that means you had a lot of aunts and uncles, right?
Oh, yeah, she's younger than her. She had an aunt younger than Louise.
Oh,
wow.
Louise was younger than Eleanor. Your Aunt Louise was younger than you. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
She had her Aunt Evelyn. Dad was Aunt Evelyn, Dad's sister.
Everyone 9 days.
Evelyn and Inez
For the last two.
and Paul
Oh, they were all.
and
Louise.
Christian and Louise and
Yeah, I was very friendly with Louise.
yes, Louise was younger than Eleanor.
And she was your
And you were
aunt.
throwing away the whisk broom. I hid it behind the pillow
So
because
I think I
wanted
better go before I get too
That's-
emotional and go crazy.
to be-
You might go off the deep
I
end.
haven't gotten this
Oh,
emotional
boy.
in a long time.
Well, good. It's time. Get it out. Isn't that
Put that
the-
back under there.